Building a premium service business isn't easy, but it isn't rocket science either. In this video, we'll discuss the 3 things that you have to do to build a premium brand, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you how to make sure that you're providing a premium customer experience every step of the way. I'm TW Mack from the Small Business Growth Accelerator. I've been an entrepreneur since the late 1990s, and for the last 5 years, I've worked with small business owners to grow their business and not just create a job for themselves. If you're a small business owner, please like and subscribe to get more strategy and actionable tips to help you grow your business beyond self-employment. We're going to start by talking about what a premium service business is. Essentially, it's a business that does the same basic work as any other service business, but the target customer is a clientele who have more disposable income and are willing to pay premium rates for what they perceive to be premium quality service. Because the quality delivered by premium businesses is often subjective, a lot of what you're doing is building a premium brand. Keep in mind, a brand is far more than the name and the logo. Ultimately, it's how your customers feel about your business. Your job as a premium service brand is to continually shape how customers feel about your business and build perceived value. Building a premium service brand allows you to charge considerably more than your competitors, meaning you can serve fewer clients and make more money. Discerning clientele are pickier about who they choose to do business with. They tend to be less price conscious as well. What this means for you is that if you do a good job, they're not going to drop your service when the next better deal comes along. When you win a customer's loyalty based on the quality of the work that you do, they'll stick with you long term. Perhaps the best benefit of having a higher end clientele is that they tend to be easier to deal with. Most business owners have encountered this. Customers who have less money to spend tend to need to stretch the value of their dollar, and often they have unrealistic expectations of what they should get for the money that they spend. When you work with clients who aren't as price sensitive, you'll have to deliver on their expectations, but they're willing to pay for it. This means less drama for your business and less hassle dealing with unrealistic customers. Now that I've told you why you should build a premium service brand, let's talk a little bit about the challenges. To be able to provide premium service, you have to have everything together. You can't just fly by the seat of your pants. We're going to talk a lot about the things that you have to do to position yourself at the premium end of the market, and those things can require a higher upfront investment of time and energy as a business owner. In addition to your time and effort as a business owner, you'll also have to make investments in the basics of your brand. We're going to go more in depth about these brand basics later, but as an example, you'll want to have a great logo, a professional website with custom photography instead of stock images, and maybe you'll want to have a company vehicle with a vinyl wrap. These things enhance the legitimacy of your brand. If you were servicing the lower end of the market, some of these things could be put off into the future. They're fundamental requirements for a premium brand. Now that we've talked about some of the upsides and the downsides of building a premium service brand, let's talk about how to actually do it. Your goal in building a premium brand is to make the process frictionless for your customers. That means from the very first interaction with your customer until the very last time you ever talk to them. Everything has to work smoothly and deliver the value that that customer expects at each and every step of the way. There are 3 things that you have to do to build a premium service brand. First, you have to build a brand identity that makes and delivers on a brand promise. Second, you have to deliver massive value to your customers. And third, you have to be able to do these things consistently. This is probably the hardest and the most important thing that you have to do. We're going to go deeper into those 3 things, but rest assured, if you can master all 3 of them, you're going to be well on your way to operating a premium brand. First, let's talk about brand identity. Everything that you do in your business contributes to how your customers feel about your company, and that's what your brand really is. What we're going to talk about first is what people usually think of when they think of a brand, and that's your brand identity. The first part of developing a brand identity is to pick a name. Now, a lot of people stress over this, and a lot of business ideas actually die before they even start because the person can't pick the perfect name. I'm here to tell you not to worry about it. If you think of the perfect name, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Pick something. We've all seen companies with names that were made up or were obscure words or even just the founder's initials. It's up to you to define your brand, no matter what the name is. So spend a few days, brainstorm some names, and pick something. The only important consideration is that your name or slogan should in some way make it clear to your customers what it is that you do. Now that you have a name, it's important to develop a brand promise. It's far more important than your name, and it guides how you operate your business. It's a slogan or a snippet that tells your customers what you do and how you'll change their lives. Here are a few famous brand promises. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Geico, 15 minutes or less can save you 15% or more. Walmart, save money, live better. These brand promises tell your customers what to expect from you, and they set the stage for every decision that you'll make in your business. Now that you've got a name and a brand promise, you can focus on the things that most people think about when they hear branding, the logo and brand assets. Now, we're not going to go into massive depth about how to do each thing, but I'll give you some tips that will guide you in the creation of your visual brand assets. Your logo is important, but like your name, it's more important that you just have one. It should be visually appealing and simple. It should work on dark backgrounds and light backgrounds, and it should be recognizable at small sizes. Avoid complex things like color gradients or intricate designs. Once you have a logo, it's time to build out your other brand assets. When you get things like business cards, flyers, or brochures, it's important that your brand assets are consistent. They should have a common color scheme and the same basic design. Now, unless you're a great designer, get professional help. Don't go make a do-it-yourself business card or website using one of those online services. Don't use stock photography. Get actual photos of your business in operation. Don't slap a magnet on the side of your truck. Get a great vinyl sign or even a wrap. All of these things increase the perceived value of your brand. They make you seem more trustworthy, and when done wrong, they can make you look like an amateur. When you're selling a premium service, looking like an amateur is the last thing that you want. The main thing is to make sure that your brand is represented consistently and professionally on anything that your customers will come in contact with, from an invoice to a social media presence. Now that we've talked about your brand identity and your visuals, let's talk about the things that really build your brand. What you say about your company isn't as important as how people feel about your company. That's really your brand. If BMW's ultimate driving machine wasn't fun to drive, they wouldn't be living up to that brand promise. If you're going to build a premium service business, you have to deliver value to your customers. Value doesn't mean cheap. Value doesn't mean low cost. Value means that your customers feel like they got what they paid for or more. Now, value can be tangible, as in the thing that you actually do, like painting a house, steam cleaning carpets, or building a room addition. What separates a premium service brand is the intangible things that they do that increase the customer's perceived value. Maybe it's little things like using eco-friendly or premium materials, leaving a quality checklist behind with the supervisor's signature showing that all items were completed. On a longer-term job, it could be providing a roadmap of what to expect and providing frequent updates on what's been accomplished and what's still to come. Perceived value can be anything you do that isn't essential to accomplishing the job that makes the customer feel better or removes friction from the process, making it a smoother, easier transaction. In short, you have to go above and beyond doing the actual work to deliver massive value. It can take a little more time, but it creates big payouts when shaping how your customers feel about your company. Building a great brand identity and providing superior service is one thing, but being able to do that consistently over time is a whole other matter. It's often the hardest part of owning any business. If you're going to successfully position yourself at the top end of the market, you have to be able to deliver consistently that same level of service day after day, week after week, and with every single customer. To do this, you have to invest in developing standard operating procedures and processes to handle exceptions that fall outside of that standard. You have to make sure that your quality expectations are well defined and that your employees are very well trained and they're able to meet and exceed those quality expectations. You have to have contingency plans in place in case something doesn't go the way that you wanted them to. If you have employees, you have to be able to effectively manage them. That means keeping them motivated and focused, along with all of the other things that you think of when it comes to managing employees, like making sure that they don't have performance or attendance problems. Now that you know some of what it takes to operate a premium service business, you'll want to know how much you can charge for that service. I've got a great video on how to determine what to charge that focuses on balancing price with the quality of service. You can check it out by clicking the info button right up there. In a moment, I'm going to give you my number one way to make sure that you're delivering a premium customer experience every step of the way. But first, if you like this video and you want to see more tips and strategies for growing your business beyond a job, like and subscribe to our channel. It also helps let YouTube know that you liked our video so that they'll show it to more business owners just like you. When you're building a premium service business, you have to make sure that your customers consistently get a premium experience every single time they have an interaction with your business. The best way to do that is to map out every single point of contact that you could possibly have with your customer, from the first time they call you to how you follow up with them after they've terminated service or they've ended service with you, and then everything in between. For every single one of those customer touchpoints, develop systems and procedures that deliver a customer experience that's superior to your competition and make it seem effortless. A premium service business doesn't do different work than any other business. They just do it better. They do it consistently, reliably, and it seems effortless. As you can see, it takes a lot more work to develop this business, but it could be much more rewarding and lucrative in the long term. If you're still here, thank you. I appreciate the time that you've spent with me. If I've given just one of you the information that you need to start a premium service business, I'm going to consider it a great success.